The EU is keen to continue negotiations and find a solution to save the Northern Ireland Protocol. But from the British side, it is said that the proposals led to nothing. The argument comes to a head now. The Vice President of the European Commission, Maros Šefčovič, was in London again last week. He's actually negotiating with the British government about a possible agreement on the Northern Ireland Protocol, actually. Because Šefčovič did not meet either the responsible Foreign Minister Liz Truss or Prime Minister Boris Johnson. That was a joke. At an appointment at the London office of the Bloomberg news agency, he said he had spoken to company representatives, to representatives of the British House of Lords, and to members of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the House of Commons. It has long been about explaining to entrepreneurs and politicians that the EU would negotiate if the British government were willing to do so. Our impression is increasingly that whenever there are domestic political difficulties in Great Britain, the Brexit issues comes up again and is high on the agenda, says Franziska Brandner, Parliamentary State Secretary in the Federal Minister of Economy and Technology here in Germany, and responsible in the government for coordinating relations between the European Union and the United Kingdom. There's not always a real will from Johnson to find pragmatic common solutions. Because there are compromise proposals on the table. A special lane in English ports, for example, for lorries making deliveries to Northern Ireland. These trucks should be checked significantly less often. A demand by the British which Šefčovič responds to. But from the British side, no reaction. Foreign Minister Liz Truss sees no improvement in the proposals, as she said on the BBC 2 weeks ago. The proposals that the EU has presented are no better than the deadlock we are in. What a bunch of liars over there. The EU submitted proposals last autumn on how the situation in Northern Ireland can be improved. And that's also something Brandner says. However, the British government did not respond to this. Instead, there always comes the same. The EU is not ready to negotiate. That's just bullshit. If one side is permanently ready to negotiate, then it is the European side. So much so that at some point you have to ask whether they aren't a little tougher, or they should be a little tougher. Patience in the European Union could slowly be coming to an end, though. The Northern Ireland Protocol stipulates that the region will remain part of the EU internal market and the European Customs Union. This should prevent goods checks at the border to the EU member Ireland. Otherwise, the conflict between supporters and opponents of a reunification of the two parts of Ireland is expected to flare up again. But checks between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK are now necessary. And the Johnson government intends to subsequently reverse this consequence, but without presenting any alternative solution. But Johnson has enough problems on his back anyway. Partygate is not over yet. He lost by-elections in 2 constituencies with a bang. Fresh figures show that trade between the EU and Great Britain has collapsed due to Brexit. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, predicts that there will be no economic growth in Great Britain in 2023. If the EU then imposes further trade restrictions because the British government wants to overturn parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol unilaterally, this could pose a problem for Johnson, and it particularly will bring problems for Johnson, but also for the normal citizen in the UK, and that's something nobody can want except that government. I'll see you in my next video. Viel Spaß!